What would happen if demons stole your eyes, ears, skin, and even your limbs before you were born? One abandoned child refused to accept that fate. Armed with nothing but determination and hidden blades, he began hunting the monsters that had stolen his body. And with every demon he killed, he reclaimed a piece of himself. The story opened on a village that was in very bad condition because it had been facing a severe drought. Their gods had not helped them, and because of this, everyone was in great trouble. They had no food and no water. Since their fields had not yielded good harvests of wheat, the leader of the village, Daigo, made a plan to go to the demons and ask them for help. Daigo traveled to the place of the demons, where a monk was sitting. The monk was shocked to see Daigo and wondered why he had come there. Daigo told him that he had left all his gods and was now praying before the demons, because no god had been able to help them in their desperate condition. The monk tried to stop him, because it was his duty to prevent people from seeking help from demons. The monk warned Daigo that if he wanted help from the demons, he would have to pay with his most beloved things. Daigo agreed to the terms and killed the monk, because he had already decided to get help from the demons. He then began praying before all the demon statues and told them that he was their servant and begged them to help him. A light appeared in the place as a sign that the demons had accepted his plea. Daigo then returned home, where his wife was pregnant and on the verge of giving birth. He was very happy, thinking that his wife would give birth to a boy who would become the leader of the village after him. His wish was soon fulfilled, and his wife gave birth to a beautiful boy. But at that very moment, the same light suddenly appeared in the room and completely covered the child. When the women looked at the baby, they were horrified by what they saw. When Daigo himself saw his child, the boy had no skin, no face, no hands, and no arms. All of his body parts were missing. But instead of being devastated, Daigo was pleased. He told his wife that the demons had fulfilled his wish, and that the village would no longer suffer from drought and water shortage, because he had paid with his child's body parts. He then handed the child to an old woman and ordered her to kill it. But when the old woman went outside and reached the river, she felt mercy and could not bring herself to kill the baby. She placed the little child on a small boat and left him to his fate. Then, suddenly, a monster appeared behind her and killed her brutally. At that moment, a man appeared. He had no eyes, yet he killed the monster with ease, for he had a special power. He could see the world in color, where good things appeared white and evil things appeared red. The scene then shifted to a small boy named Dororo, who was selling things at a village market. He had no parents and was the little thief of the village. All the things he was trying to sell had been stolen from others. In the middle of the market, a man arrived with his friends and became furious at Dororo, accusing him of stealing many things from his home. Dororo quickly threw a bowl at him and ran to save himself. The man and all his friends chased after Dororo, but every time they tried to catch him, they failed. Dororo was sharp and quick, and he always managed to escape and even outwit them. After some time, Dororo reached the river, where he saw a hungry dog. He did not give the dog the fish he had taken from the river, and told it to depend on itself and not seek help from anyone. At that moment, the man and his friends caught up and grabbed Dororo. They beat him and told him to beg for mercy, promising to let him go if he did. But this little boy was too brave. He refused to beg. He was badly injured, but he did not give in. Then, suddenly, a boy appeared before them. The man and his friends were shocked and told him to go away, but the boy did not move. At that moment, a monster emerged from the river and killed all of the man's friends, and the man himself, and then turned toward Dororo. The boy stepped forward and began to fight the monster. In the end, he killed it, for though he had no hands, 2 swords were attached in their place. Dororo was deeply shocked. After the monster was slain, the boy's face mask came off and the skin on his face transformed into a normal human form. This boy was no stranger. He was the very child who had been born under the demon's curse, stripped of most of his body parts before he had ever seen the world. Dororo then realized that the boy had not hurt him and could not see him, as all of his body parts were made of fake wooden material. So, he decided to start his journey with the boy, thinking that he could earn a lot of money from his help in killing monsters. On the way, Dororo tried to ask him his name, but the boy did not tell him anything because he could not hear anything. Then, after walking for some time, the mysterious boy caught some fish for eating. After catching the fish, the boy began to eat them raw. Dororo stopped him and told him that they did not eat fish that way. He quickly picked up some wood from the jungle and lit a fire. Then, he put the fish over the wood and started roasting them. After some time, when the fish were fully roasted, he served 2 of them to the boy and kept 1 for himself, since he had helped by lighting the fire and roasting the fish. Then, both of them slept at that place. During the night, Dororo saw a bad dream and woke up suddenly, for he was an innocent boy who had never known the love of a mother or a father. He then told the boy his name and also touched his face to the boy's hand, but the boy gave no reply to Dororo. The next day, after catching fish, both of them reached a village where all the people were in a very bad condition because monsters had attacked their village at night, killed many people, and taken their belongings and gold coins with them. Dororo told everyone that they could help by killing the monster, but in return, the villagers would have to give them a lot of money. All the villagers agreed, and Dororo was very happy at the thought of becoming rich. The villagers gave them a place to rest, and also informed them that their chief, a girl named Bandai, also wanted to meet them. Both of them then went to Bandai's house. The villagers did not enter inside, but when Dororo and the boy stepped in, they saw a girl who was very beautiful and pretty. Dororo was very happy to see her and instantly started liking her. However, in the midst of this, the mysterious boy realized that she was a monster. He drew his sword and tried to kill her, but Dororo stopped him. The villagers then locked both of them in a room, where they met an old man who could not see with his eyes. He was the same old man who had killed the monster in the first scene, after the old lady had left the cursed boy on the boat. After seeing the mysterious boy and his powers, the old man realized that he was the same boy he had seen many years before. The boy did not look like a human, but he was not a monster either. He was a boy cursed by demons. While they were talking, Bandai suddenly appeared before them in her monster form. The boy started following her and reached the place where she was present. He began fighting her. She was a very powerful monster who resembled a crocodile, and she tried her best to kill the boy. She injured him very badly, but the boy felt no pain. Because of this, he did not stop fighting. Meanwhile, on the other side, when the villagers arrived, Dororo and the old man Kane told them to stay back. By this time, Dororo had realized that all the villagers were under Bandai's control, and that all of them had been killing travelers out of fear of her. But at that very moment, the boy defeated her completely and killed her, and all the villagers were finally set free. Dororo then spotted a large number of gold coins buried in the soil. The villagers explained that their village had no food, no water, and no money. They had been capturing and killing soldiers at Bandai's command, and had buried the soldiers' money in the soil for later use. But now, thanks to the mysterious boy, they were all free. Dororo and the boy then left the village. On the way, the mysterious boy told Dororo his name. He wrote it in the sand, but Dororo could not read it, so the boy took Kane's hand and guided it over the written words. Through touch, Kane learnt that the boy's name was Hyakkimaru. After this, Hyakkimaru once again felt great pain throughout his body. After that, the scene shifted into the past, where a man named Jaiko lived in a village and helped people who were in trouble. Jaiko was specialized in crafting missing parts of the human body from wood. He also helped those people whose body parts had been cut off during the war. He made new body parts from wood and attached them to their bodies. All of them became happy because Jaiko never accepted any money in return. Jaiko lived with a boy who had lost his family during the war. Jaiko took care of him and also made a wooden leg for him so that he could walk easily. Jaiko loved this boy very much. His name was Kaname, and Jaiko treated him like his own son. He worked day and night making body parts to help people. However, Jaiko also carried a very dark past, which was revealed sometime later. The next day, when Kaname went to the jungle to collect some wood, he suddenly saw a woman with her son in trouble. When some people had attacked their village, they had cut off her son's hand, and his wounds were still bleeding. Kaname quickly took the woman and her son with him and reached the house where his master treated the boy and bandaged all his wounds. The woman became very happy because her son was now recovering. However, during that time, she discovered that Jaiko was not a doctor and that he had lived a very brutal life in his past. He had been a commander of a king and had killed many people. When he killed someone, he placed them on a cross and tortured them badly. By doing this, he had filled a large field with crosses, which showed how many countless people he had killed. Jaiko told the woman to return after a week, and he would make a new hand for her son. They then left the house. That night, while Jaiko was working on crafting the new hand, Kaname suddenly attacked him with the intention of killing him. However, he stopped himself when he remembered that Jaiko was the one who had helped him and taken care of him. He told Jaiko that he was the killer of his father and mother because he had seen his parents' dead bodies on the crosses. Jaiko agreed that he had killed them but asked Kaname to give him 1 week so that he could fulfill his promise to the woman by attaching a new hand to her son. Kaname agreed and held back. However, the next day, he changed his decision and left Jaiko's house, saying that he could no longer live with him because he was the killer of his family. He also told Jaiko that he would not kill him because Jaiko now helped people who were in trouble, so he should continue his work. Kaname left, and Jaiko was left alone with the memory of his past when his wife had died in an attack. And from that day onward, he had left his old life and started helping people. Sometime later, when Jaiko went to the river, he saw a boat, and inside it lay Hyakkimaru. Jaiko quickly pulled him out but was shocked to see see his skinless body and many missing parts. However, Hyakkimaru was alive, so Jaiko made a decision to take care of him. He crafted a complete wooden body structure for him so that no one would be frightened by his appearance. Days passed, and Hyakkimaru grew quickly. Jaiko treated him like his son and slowly began to realize his powers, because he understood that this boy was filled with extraordinary abilities. Hyakkimaru did not feel pain in his body, which shocked Jaiko greatly. Jaiko also gave him his name. One day, when Hyakkimaru was in the jungle, he sensed a monster in front of him. The monster suddenly changed from green to red. Hyakkimaru fought it and killed it, but his own body was injured as well. Jaiko then made a decision to train him as a warrior, so that he could fight monsters more easily, for Hyakkimaru could sense everything even though he was blind. The scene then shifted to Hyakkimaru's family, where his mother gave birth to a new baby boy. His father was very happy, because this new son was now the future leader of the village. However, his mother was not happy, as she still thought about her first child. The new son grew quickly, and his father trained him in combat. Similarly, Hyakkimaru was fully trained by Jaiko, and could easily kill any monster with great skill, though he had no sharp weapons. After seeing him get injured, Jaiko crafted 2 swords and attached them to Hyakkimaru's wooden hands so that he could defeat monsters more easily. After that, Hyakkimaru killed monsters with ease. But one day, after a fight with a monster, Jaiko suddenly noticed that Hyakkimaru's body had healed itself and his leg had grown back to its normal form. This shocked Jaiko greatly. He then realized that every time Hyakkimaru killed a monster, one of his missing body parts returned. Jaiko made a decision and told Hyakkimaru to go out into the world. Hyakkimaru agreed, and after his farewell with Jaiko, he began his journey. Jaiko knew that if Hyakkimaru continued killing monsters, he would one day regain his whole body. Before he left, Jaiko gave him one thing and told him that it would help him find his family. In the present, Dororo also recognized that Hyakkimaru's body healed one part after each monster he killed. However, Dororo also understood that as Hyakkimaru regained his body parts, he would begin to feel pain. As an example, when Hyakkimaru placed his foot in fire, it burned. Then they all reached another place in the jungle, where they met a girl named Osushi, who had lived in a temple for a long time. Dororo, however, only worried about Hyakkimaru because he did not know what Hyakkimaru had done in the rain. After seeing his reaction, Dororo told Osushi about it, and she realized that Hyakkimaru had felt the rain on his skin. Before, his body had no skin, but after he killed the demonic monster, he got his skin back, and now he could feel that something like water touched his body. Dororo told her, however, that Hyakkimaru did not feel anything and could not hear, but Osushi was assured that Hyakkimaru had indeed felt something. Then Dororo asked her why she lived alone in that temple, because that place was not safe for a single girl. Osushi told him that she lived there only for her brother Tanosuke, who had gone to war 3 years ago and had not come back. She only prayed there that her brother would return home safely. Hearing this, Dororo became shocked because he knew that if her brother had died during that time, then her prayers were wasted. During their conversation, Hyakkimaru suddenly sensed that something bad was nearby. He quickly started running to find the demonic presence. Dororo also started following him, and they both reached a place where Dororo was shocked to see a large number of dead bodies and one man who had killed them all. That man was none other than Osushi's brother, and he attacked Hyakkimaru. But Hyakkimaru was not weak, he fought back. Then Tanosuke told them both that he had not done this on his own, and that everything had been done by his sword, because a very dangerous demon lived inside it. The demon only wanted blood, so whoever held the sword came under its control and started killing people. They then started fighting each other. During the fight, Tanosuke attacked Hyakkimaru's leg, and his sword got stuck inside the wooden leg. Hyakkimaru then threw Tanosuke off the mountain, and his leg also fell down the mountain. Dororo quickly left the spot and rushed into the jungle to find Hyakkimaru's leg. He finally found it, but when he picked up the sword took control of Dororo's whole body, and he was no longer a normal child. Meanwhile, the scene shifted to Osushi, who was very happy to see her brother again after 3 years. But Tanosuke did not respond to her well, because by then, he only wanted the sword. He had used it so many times that he had been cursed by it. He also told his sister that he could not live with her anymore, and that he needed the sword. She did not understand what was the matter. Then Tanosuke thought about his past. When he first joined the army, his king ordered him to kill innocent people. Tanosuke refused the order and told him that he would not kill them. But the king was very dangerous, and strictly ordered Tanosuke that if he did not kill them, the king would kill him. So after this, Tanosuke took the demonic cursed sword from the king and quickly killed one man. But the sword needed more blood and also took control of Tanosuke's body. Tanosuke then killed all the people and soldiers who were present there, and in the end, he did not spare the king either. After killing the king, Tanosuke left that place and began his journey of killing. He had become addicted to the sword, and because of this, he left his home. Osushi tried to stop him, but he did not stop and went away. Meanwhile, on the other side, as Dororo walked along the way, he spotted two men and attacked them, because he was now under the control of the demon and did not know what he was doing. But at that moment, Hyakkimaru appeared on the spot, and sensed that Dororo was under the control of the sword. He attacked Dororo, and at first Dororo thought that Hyakkimaru was trying to kill him. But in the end, Hyakkimaru attacked the demonic cursed sword and threw it away from Dororo, saving his life. However, Tanosuke then arrived and picked up the sword again and started fighting Hyakkimaru. The fight was very difficult because both fighters had various kinds of fighting skills. But in the end, Hyakkimaru killed Tanosuke and broke the demonic sword. Osushi stood over her brother's dead body and cried. But when Hyakkimaru saw Osushi's face, he suddenly felt a great pain in his body, and then one of his body parts healed. It was his ears, and his ability to hear returned to him. It was the first time Hyakkimaru had ever heard voices from the outside world, but he did not know which voices were important for him and which were not. He felt a great pain in his head because he could not endure the sounds of the animals and his surroundings. Dororo quickly understood this, and held Hyakkimaru's ears with his handkerchief, so that Hyakkimaru could not hear the outside voices. But suddenly, just as Dororo had done this, a flying monster appeared in front of them and tried to kill them both. Hyakkimaru started fighting it, but it was not easy because he was already injured from the previous fight, so he could not fight well that time, and the monster came very close to killing them. Suddenly, Kane appeared and killed the monster with his sword easily, and Dororo was very happy. Dororo told him the whole situation, what had happened to them, and also told him that Hyakkimaru could now hear everything, but he was hearing too many things at the same time. Kane quickly took Hyakkimaru's hand and told him that he only needed to focus on the human voice, while all other voices were not good for him, so he should avoid them and only focus on human voices. The three of them then spent a night in the jungle. The next morning, while all of them slept, Hyakkimaru suddenly woke up and quickly walked towards the riverside. Kane woke Dororo up so that he could follow Hyakkimaru, and Dororo did so. After some time, when Hyakkimaru reached the river, he saw a very beautiful girl in front of him and tried to touch her face, but his body was too weak, and he fell unconscious on her shoulder. Then all of them were taken to a nearby house where this girl, named Mio, lived. She bandaged all of Hyakkimaru's wounds, and then introduced some children who had lost their parents in the war and had also lost their body parts during the war. Mio lived with them in that house, which was in poor condition, and took care of all of them. Dororo was very happy to meet other kids who were around his age. He then met a boy named Take, who was washing his clothes. On Dororo's question, Take told him about Mio that she was very kind and lovely, because she worked through the whole night for them to prepare food. But Dororo wondered whether she was a demon or not, because no ordinary person could work through the night like that. Meanwhile, on the other side, the scene shifted to Hyakkimaru's father's village, which was in very bad condition because it was again facing a drought. Hyakkimaru, however, did not know about this. While he was in the room, Mio came and told him that she could bring some medicine for him from Lord Takai's army office when she returned from work, but no one knew what kind of work Mio did. She then left for her work, and when she came back, she brought some medicine with her. She saw Hyakkimaru sitting on the stairs and started talking with him. Dororo also came there and told Mio that Hyakkimaru could not see anyone in the ordinary way. He only sensed and felt things in front of him, because he could see good and bad souls in red and green colors. After hearing this, she started singing a song for Hyakkimaru so that he could feel relaxed. Then Kane told Hyakkimaru about a demon, and if he killed it, another one of his body parts would heal itself. So the two of them went towards their mission, while Dororo was left alone with the kids. Dororo then made a plan to follow Mio that night, and he carried it out. At night, when Mio left the house, Dororo followed her and reached the place where she was. There, Dororo saw something very disturbing. Mio spent her nights with men and earned money that way, and she used that money to take care of the orphan children. Dororo felt very sad that she had sold herself only to care for the orphans. Meanwhile, on the other side, Hyakkimaru reached the monster's place and started fighting it. During the fight, he became injured because he was too exhausted, and then the monster cut off one of Hyakkimaru's legs, and he started screaming. Dororo reached the spot and held one side of Hyakkimaru's body and then brought him back home. Hyakkimaru's condition was very poor, and the next morning, when Mio came back home, Take told her about Hyakkimaru's condition. She quickly came to the room and started bandaging his body, which was in a very dangerous state. Dororo did not want to stay and watch, so he left the room and came outside, where he was very angry at every man who had slept with Mio. Dororo thought that those men had taken advantage of her without any good reason. His friend Take then came and asked him about his anger, but Dororo did not tell him what kind of work Mio had been doing. Meanwhile, the scene shifted to Hyakkimaru's family. His brother was very angry with his family because he wanted to join the army and fight in the war, but his father told him that there was no need to join the army. Because of this, he became very angry. He also told his mother that he wanted to join the army, but his mother knew that once Daigo made a decision, he never changed it. Hyakkimaru's brother then became furious and told his mother that she did not love him, because he had noticed from his childhood that whenever he did anything, she never paid attention to him. After saying this, Hyakkimaru's brother left the house and went outside with his horse. Two of his friends were also with him, because by then he did not want to see the faces of his mother or father. Meanwhile, his father Daigo realized that they were facing a big problem because the village was suffering from drought again. He went to the demon and started praying in front of it, reminding it that he had already sacrificed the body parts of his first child. So why was this happening to them again? Then suddenly, rain came, and all the villagers were very happy and thought that their fields would now be saved. But then the rain stopped just as suddenly, and all the villagers were shocked at what had happened. On the other side, Hyakkimaru was in his room, thinking about his previous fight and how the monster had fought him. He tried to walk, but his leg was not in good condition. Mio stopped him and told him that there was no need to go outside because his condition was not good, and if he walked, his wounds would be disturbed. She also told Dororo to take care of Hyakkimaru, otherwise, his condition would become more serious. Before leaving for her work, she spoke with Dororo about what she did, since he was the only one who knew. Mio told him that she was not ashamed of her work, because she needed money and food to take care of the children, and that was why she did it. Then she went away. After some time, Dororo met with Take, who told him about Mio's dream. Mio believed that one day, after gathering enough money, they would all buy their own field, grow rice in it, and then all of them would eat plenty of food together. Then, all the kids showed Hyakkimaru a collection of samurai swords that they had gathered during the war. Hyakkimaru took one of the swords and attached it to his wooden leg as a weapon. He then headed towards the monster, because before, he had not killed it. But now he was ready. He reached the place and started fighting the monster. This time, his fight was very strong, and he used the sword attached to his leg and killed the monster with it easily. Dororo was very happy. Meanwhile, on the other side, as Mio was coming back home, some soldiers followed her and believed that she was a spy of another king. They killed Mio and also all the children who were inside the house. When Dororo and Hyakkimaru returned home and saw the dead bodies of all the children and Mio, Hyakkimaru became furious and started killing all the soldiers who were still present there. His condition became very dangerous, and he was close to turning into a monster, but Dororo stopped him, and Hyakkimaru did not turn into one. However, his body had been fully cursed from childhood, and because of this, one soldier managed to run away. The two of them then made graves for Mio and the children, and started their journey again, but they were both deeply saddened.